So, based on the fact that Asahi Lina uh, is a pretty popular content creator, I don't know what she'll be doing now that she's kind of quit kernel dev, but there is a niche for very technical content done by VTubers, I guess. Now, I'm not a kernel developer, be it for Linux or any other kernel, but I do know a little bit about cybersecurity. And there is this cool little thing that I want to, I guess, chronicle my journey in implementing on my home lab setup called MEAM, where the M can either stand for Microsoft or Monash, an Australian university, depending on who you ask. And if you're asking me, it stands for Monash because some very cool people from that university created an extension to the Microsoft Enterprise Access model. And yeah, I want to implement it to better understand it. And so this kind of video series streams, I don't know what I'm gonna do exactly. It's just gonna be like a bit of a kick in my butt to make sure that I actually do it. So let's take a look at what this thing actually is. So you know what Active Directory is. Good, because I'm gonna assume that you do know what Active Directory is. Um, I'll put up a nice little diagram, or I don't know what I'll put up. Maybe it'll be the Wikipedia article explaining what AD is. But what the enterprise access model, the Monash or Microsoft one, is essentially AD v3. It's a massive re-architecturing of how you do Active Directory security, right? So as you can see in the diagram that I will put up, which is the diagram of what meme, I'm gonna call it meme from now on. Apologies. Um, what it suggests is using authentication silos and all that fun stuff, all the DACLs in AD to, I guess, lock down who can access what. The idea is you have three tiers. You've got your control plane, your management plane, and your workload plane. And so you want authentication to go all the way up to the control plane, but you want delegation of responsibility to only go downwards, right? So you have privileged access workstations for each tier, and then accounts locked to each zone, which within each tier. So, for example, you'd have a tier 0 with zone 0A, for example, which is your domain admin accounts, all of your ADDS, DCs, your ADCS, that kind of fun, juicy stuff that you want protected as much as possible, right? Then you could have, like, say, in what I'm going to implement, you would have your virtualization infrastructure also within tier 0, as that's like pretty juicy, pretty crown jewels, right? Then you go down to tier 1, which is where stuff like your SCCM, your Ansibles, that's where they sit, as they're kind of like the management plane. You even have like your EDR, your SIEM, that kind of stuff in this tier. Then finally, your workload tier is where all your servers that actually do stuff would live. So like print servers, web servers, random workstations, that kind of thing. I'm not going to show my own architecture because I've designed it, I just haven't implemented it. And although once I implement it, it'll be reasonably secure, it's like, don't want to be publishing my entire home network on the internet, right? Um, so that's what that is. Now the question is, why the fuck would someone do this on their home domain? And the answer is, I find this stuff fun. Fuck you. Um, yeah, that's the long story short. But also, it's a great learning opportunity to kind of increase my knowledge of how to, I guess, administer Active Directory, as I don't really get a direct chance to do that within my day-to-day work. I'm mostly looking at redacted EDR and redacted SIEM and building funky automations to pull stuff together to reduce the workload, right? Like that's what I do. I don't get to play with this stuff at work, so why not play with it at home? and it might make a fun video series. Who knows? So that sounds appealing. Hit that subscribe button, and you'll get the first episode of this journey. Probably it's gonna be a stream of me setting up 80 CS within my environment because I don't have that stood up yet because I'm so epic and I'm cool. But that's a pretty key part because you want to be doing smart card authentication on your zoned accounts, right? You don't want to be having passwords that can be phished. And I have a bunch of YubiKeys, so pretty epic. And then from there, there'll probably be like a stream where I look at the scripts, like the PowerShell scripts that actually stand up the ADV3 stuff, all of the silos, all the right DACLs, all that. And then maybe another stream that's like setting up a pour. In any case, if any of that sounds appealing as something you would want to watch a VTuber doing, hit the subscribe button, hit like on this video, and tell your friends about it. And I guess turn on the notification bell so you see the stream as it's live rather than, a week later. But yeah, I'll see you in the stream.